Hi, everyone. I have a very exciting world traveling guest with me today. His name is Matan, and I met him through, I think, a mutual bodywork community that we have, PDTR, originally. And then we attended a class together, a hypnotherapy class. And I'm super curious about you because we didn't have a ton of time to get to know each other during that class. So I'm sure there's a lot about you I don't know. and and I'd love
Same.
to hear, yeah, ditto, right? And I'd love to hear, what you're up to right now during this interesting time that we're in, and kind of how you got, what's been your life story as far as your practice, your what you do for work, and your awakening journey, because I'm sure there's stuff there that we can talk about.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
There.
take the floor.
Where do I start? Oh, take the floor. Okay. Where am I at now? I'm in a little village, you could call it that, on a mountaintop in the desert in Israel.
Mm.
I felt that it's sort of the best place to be at this time to seclude myself and to practice all of my practices, which is meditation and yoga and movement, and I like to call it play. Lately it's been a lot of play. So
Mm-hmm.
I go out in the desert and I play with whatever there is,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's a wall or rocks or sand or a cliff or whatever it is, just playing.
Mm-hmm.
um, so mostly lately I've been sinking into my practices, my self practices,
Very
teaching
cool.
myself more. And as far as work is concerned, I do some work through Zoom, like
Mm-hmm.
this,
Mm-hmm.
with CRT
Mm-hmm.
and Heart of Elijah and some other stuff, some support. Yeah,
So
supporting others.
you're still able to see clients now, which is lovely. Nice to be able to connect that way right now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wonderful. So for people who don't know, CRT is cellular release therapy. It's a form of hypnotherapy. And Heart of Elijah is another form of the similar work. Yeah. I feel weird calling it hypnotherapy. It is, I guess, but it's
It's weird calling it
so much
anything.
more than that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a very deep spiritual work that
yeah.
that Matan and I practice. Yeah. Okay.
I had a CRT session this afternoon, and um, when I do the trade with someone else. She
Mhm.
does call it voice work,
Mm,
but it's really therapy,
cool.
um, through using your voice in a certain way. And when I presented what I can offer as a trade, I said hypnotherapy, and in the beginning she voiced her concerns because, as we've both know,
Mm-hmm.
that word is a trigger for most people,
Mm-hmm.
and it took guts to say that she was afraid of it,
Mm-hmm.
and the whole what's it called, control thing, being out of control, someone else controlling, and
Mm-hmm.
that long explanation of how the client is the person controlling
Mm-hmm.
and the person doing the work. And so it's always fun
Mm,
to again and again interact with those words that
mm-hmm.
trigger.
Yeah. Yeah, I have kind of a set spiel that I say at the beginning, like, the technical term is hypnotherapy, but really it's a guided relaxation that
Mm,
it's just a really deep state of relaxation where you'll be able to contact material that would be hard for you to do just fully awake.
yeah, that's basically what I say,
Yeah.
just in Hebrew.
Yeah. So
You have to
beautiful.
turn everything around in Hebrew.
Do you? Yeah.
Yeah, Hebrew and English are sort of, they switch sometimes.
Man, what an
Like
exercise.
the sentence says, well, I translated CRT into Hebrew
Okay.
as the only CRT practitioner in
Yeah.
Israel. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Very, very
Not
cool.
just that, also the only PDTR practitioner in Israel.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I only know one person in Israel. She's an NKT practitioner. There.
I know her.
Do you?
I worked with some of her clients. Yeah,
That's really
she
cool. I'm
brought me
glad.
in for some clients. Yeah,
That's really cool. I'm glad you guys connected. Yeah.
yeah.
A lot of, there's just a need for this everywhere. It's so great to have people speaking different languages and using it. I don't know
Mm-hmm.
how many languages it's been translated into now. Maybe like 3 or 4.
Not enough.
Yeah, no, I know. Totally.
But
It's a big project, though.
CRT is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it's a big project because the words that we use in that protocol are very specific, and so it's hard to find the right word with the right vibration in the other language. It's not so rational.
it took several revisions, and
Mm,
almost every session I revise again.
yeah. Oh, you
I
find it
actually
different.
just I wrote it all
Uh-huh.
a little bit after the course,
Mm,
and every time I sit for a session and I look at the words, every time I revise it again
mhm,
and again. I don't change it. I just feel whatever the words are supposed to be
mhm.
for that person. And
Oh, cool.
sometimes, and it's definitely a hit or miss.
Mhm. I think that's probably how Anne developed it, hit or miss, you know? That's how all things are made.
Yeah.
We try this, we see if it works. We try that, we see if it works. Uh, so how did you, were you always into the healing business, healing arts, or did you have different work before?
I wouldn't say I was always into the healing work. I um, I was actually about to go to culinary school
Mm,
at some point. I don't know, age 24 or 25, and had a little meltdown a week before, realizing that I don't want to actually do that work.
mhm,
I love cooking. Kitchen is definitely one of my favorite places in home. I'm good at it. People like the food,
mhm,
but I don't want to do it as a job
mhm,
because it's really stressful,
mhm,
competitive. Um, so I just signed up to for a meeting at a bodywork school in
mm,
Israel, and they gave me options. You can study this, you can study that. So I just chose Swedish massage and Jin Shin Do, which is acupressure,
mm,
and combine that with basic what is it physiology
mhm,
that everybody has to take. And
mhm,
I just started
mm,
having no necessary affinity to the healing arts, um, but finding that my touch feels really really good for people
mhm,
and deep in a way that I can't explain, and it also calms me down.
mhm. Mutually beneficial.
Yeah, yeah, it's very grounding. Sometimes I say thank you, and they say thank you, and I say no, 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 don't worry about it. It's actually I'm really enjoying myself. Thank you.
Yeah.
Having a
Mm,
lot of fun, and I've actually dropped it after that year. I
mhm,
didn't continue that. I was
mm.
a nanny for a 6-month-old baby
Oh, wow.
for a whole year.
That's amazing.
I was basically a dad,
Yeah.
just playing dad for 9 hours a day, four
Mm.
days a week.
Wow.
Yeah. Um, and after that, I went back into school, more
Mhm,
massage therapy, leading into neuromuscular therapy. And I found PDTR when I wanted to go back to school.
mm,
I left Israel again to travel back to California, knowing that I want to be schooled again in
Mm-hmm.
California and not in Israel.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw a 4-minute video, blurry video of Dr. Jose doing stuff.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, that.
Whatever that is. Was it the
Whatever
video?
that is, that's...
Was it the video of him working on someone's calf?
yeah, and I know that you've also met
Yeah.
with that client and worked with
Oh
him
yeah. I just got
at
an
a
email
certain
from him the other day.
point. So that guy,
It's so funny. Yeah. Yeah. Fun.
those two, uh, convinced me to go back to the Bay Area and sink my teeth into that.
Very cool.
Yeah,
And so you went all the way through PDTR, through advanced and all that?
advanced, and
Mm-hmm.
last year I did the masters in Poland.
Mm.
I was hoping to do the masters this year, but
Mm-hmm.
as
Canceled,
things
yeah.
go, no masters.
No masters.
Um, PDTR led me to meet. I met Bonnie during my own therapist during what was it, intermediate.
Yeah.
Continued with her as
Yep.
a client. Ultimately, during that time, I started using those tools in session,
Mm-hmm.
the CRT tools, until I came to Colorado to study that as well.
Mm.
So that's in a nutshell.
Yeah. How often are you doing body work versus hypnotherapy work before this
Mm,
virus?
more body work,
Mm-hmm.
a lot more body work. I combine hypnotherapy into my body work,
Mm-hmm.
just here and there when it's needed, and obviously present it if somebody wants a full um, treatment using that or a plan.
Mm.
Recently, I've studied under a chiropractor
Mm-hmm.
for basically a month and a half. I was with him in his clinic,
Mm. Cool.
and he has also another one of those people who developed a different way of working with different tools to align the spine and to sort of push back discs, not sort of push back discs into the things, between
Mm-hmm.
the things that
Yep.
where they're supposed to be.
Back into their
with
home.
some really 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 amazing swift results.
So cool.
Yeah, and
That
I see how to combine PDTR muscle testing into that.
yeah,
Yeah,
very cool.
yeah.
How much does spirituality play a part in your practice, in your business, in your practice? Are you working with people on that level?
I think it not necessarily as a practice,
Mm.
but since it's I'm I have I don't even know, even the word spirituality is difficult to me,
Mm-hmm.
because it's almost separating some things.
Mm-hmm.
um, I have daily practices of
Mm-hmm.
my own, of meditating and yoga and deepening and observing things, and I also have another practice of playing with everything.
Mm-hmm.
And playing with everything is a mind trick. So yesterday I was with friends on a little climbing wall, and they're climbers. I'm not a climber. I'm a dancer.
Mm-hmm.
I go and I fool around, and it's one block that you can choose rocks and go up or sideways towards
Mm.
up. And I always invent a new rule. You have to have your hip 90 degrees to the wall at all times.
Mm.
And it doesn't matter where you're going,
Right.
but it's about using different tools and seeing how you can continuously shift your point of view.
Mm.
And that, me being me, that goes into sessions. because I don't separate my views or sort of spirit life from my life or from my practice. And I find that that's just helpful as me being present with whatever is going on. It doesn't really matter what realm it's coming from or level.
Very cool. Yeah, I'm just finding, for me personally, that people want to talk about their beliefs about death and dying and esoteric topics. And I was curious if that was happening for you as well in your work.
At times. Yeah. Also depends on who's coming and what they're coming with. Yeah. If I have 1 hour and the person's spine is all out of alignment, that's basically what the hour goes to. Yeah. And in between, I talk, and hopefully, I trigger something that makes them talk.
Right.
Tell me something. Just tell me anything. It doesn't matter what you tell me. Just start talking.
So that the energy can move.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you done any craniosacral or anything that's more energetic? Or I shouldn't really say it that way. PDTR and all the other things are energetic too, but
Yeah.
something that's supposedly purely energetic.
Yeah, I've done some craniosacral. I've done some polarity.
Oh, did you take Jordan's class or a different thing?
No, a long way back in Oakland, part of the massage school.
Oh, cool.
They sort of threw everything at us.
Yeah, here, try this.
Yeah, here, try that. If you like it, go take a full course.
Yeah.
Somewhere. And I also practice orthobiotomy. I don't know if you know that.
Yes.
So that's been a practice for about 6 years, 7 years. I've been practicing that. And that goes into the work itself. You can call it energetic or physical, or I don't even know what to call orthobiotomy at this point.
It's all the same. Can you explain for people watching what that work is like and just anything about it? Because I think that people probably haven't heard of it.
Yeah, nobody has. So it's a practice of movement that doesn't involve pain or tension or any basically the things we're trying to avoid all the time, which is pain. We do that even more with that bodywork practice. So if I take, for example, my shoulder, then if there's pain here, then I keep it here. Okay. And I just hold it. And I wait in that sort of gentle, comfortable place. And if my arm is my client and this arm is me, the therapist, then I'm holding it and I'm allowing this arm, this client arm, to just relax into that space. Whatever feels good, that's where it goes. And ultimately, it doesn't take a long time. It's just going to sort of start moving on its own in a gentle, easy way. It's going to use its own patterns, and I'm just following that pattern. And it leads to unwinding. So the tissues just unwind and relax, and ultimately there's not going to be pain here.
Right.
My teacher likes to compare it to Jack and Jill. Jack and Jill? No. Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers, not Jack and Jill. That's something completely different.
I'm like,
I'm not even sure what that is.
It's a very weird nursery rhyme.
There you go. So Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers, both actors in old movies that I don't watch, but they dance together. And he says that as a therapist, I have to be both. So Fred is the leader of the dance, and Ginger is almost following, but he takes his cues from feeling whatever Ginger needs, and in a way he's following her. So orthobiotomy is this play of dance, which
must really
are
have
both words that I do.
Yeah. What kind of dance do you love to do?
Contact improvisation, mostly. And it's improvised movement, whether it's by myself or with objects, or preferably with people. And I practice some other stuff like axis syllabus, which is sort of proper movement through our joints.
Cool.
And a way to move up, down, sideways. Just, it's sort of a body. It's a community of researchers, and you can research almost any topic, but the pathway is through movement. Yeah.
That's super fascinating.
Yeah.
Is that online, or is that in Israel, or?
You can do it online, but really it's all over the world.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I don't know if there is in Colorado. There might be. I know more East Coast, West Coast.
Yeah.
Definitely Israel, Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Besides that, I practice shadow yoga, which is a particular form that does also involve dance.
Shadow yoga.
Yeah.
So help me understand that, because that's pretty interesting too.
Okay. Shadow yoga. So shadow refers to sheath. Sheath is a layer. And ultimately, you can call it a goal, but really yoga is throw at the goal. Is to go through those layers, whether it's mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, or beyond the things that we can call in names. And the practice itself is hatha yoga, which is just a general name for yoga.
Right.
But it does also involve movement that is more coming from Chinese movement. So it's low, a lot of horse stance, a lot of leg work, a lot of rotation and spiraling movements, which seems to be the best ones for our joints and our minds. It has elements of sword work and elements of dance, of classic Indian dance.
Cool. Where'd you learn that?
We should learn that.
No, where?
Oh, where? Wow.
And we should learn that.
Wow. Specifically, the Bay Area, LA, San Luis Obispo, New York, Israel, Hungary, Australia. There's really not a lot of places.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's a reasonable amount of places.
It's a reasonable amount of places. Yes, there's not a reasonable amount of teachers. It's sort of like all the other esoteric stuff that I do.
Yeah.
CRT, PDTR, orthobiotomy. Nobody's heard of these things.
Stuff.
Niche stuff that my niche is niche stuff, I guess.
What other cool niche stuff do you do? This is fun. We're helping to make your niche more well known.
Yeah. What other niche stuff do I do?
I feel like I'm asking you to open your underwear drawer right now.
I follow I'm gonna yeah, I'm gonna put those aside. Um, um, I follow a particular meditation teacher
Mhm.
that I listen to pretty much daily,
Okay.
whether it's her Dharma talks or guided meditations that are all recordings from retreats,
Mm.
and that I was at her retreat about 2.5 months ago. So a
Mm.
5 day silent retreat,
Amazing.
and she is uh, a world of her own.
Mm.
Yeah, the way she passes on Dharma and basically just life
Mm.
is very, very, very unique and really comforting.
Cool.
Yeah,
What's her name?
Jaya Ashmore.
Jaya.
And
Cool.
you can find her recordings on opendharma.org.
Open Dharma. Okay.
Yeah,
Very cool.
yeah.
Mm. Sounds like you
Other
have a
than
very
that,
rich life.
I leave a lot of time for what I used to call self-care,
Yeah.
and it's it's not that anymore. I
Mm.
seem to have phased out of that phase,
Mm-hmm.
which is really joyful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm less in self-care.
Mm-hmm.
I've sort of cared enough.
Mm. Mm-hmm. I get that.
And
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Now my movement practice is just discovery and play, and seeing how much I can stay at some edge,
Mm.
whatever edge that is. It doesn't really matter. It's more of a practice of staying at the edge,
Mm.
and I can care more for others. I can give more of my time. I do a lot of my work gifting.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even ask for anything. I do live off very little these days.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I have recently not really have been asking for a return in money.
Mm.
Yeah. Sometimes it's being offered, and obviously I say yes.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, if somebody comes to me as a referral, then I do ask for a price,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a way of the word in Hebrew is staj, and the word in English is it's like when you first become a doctor and you go into the hospital and you spend, I don't know, a year or
Residency.
two. It's
Okay.
basically a personal residency
Mm-hmm.
of trying tools that nobody knows about,
Mm-hmm.
um, and presenting them
Mm. Very cool.
without asking for too much,
Mm.
besides a little bit of trust.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as you know, PDTR is kind of it does its wow things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I let it go.
Mm.
It wows me too.
Yeah.
Still wows me. um, and hopefully, whatever we're experiencing now will end at a point,
Yeah. When it needs to.
sometime, when it
Yeah.
needs to,
Mm.
when it's going to come, and I can go back to actually having a full practice.
Yeah.
And I've started to notice in the past 6 months a willingness to return to teach
Mm.
yoga and any other movement that I do.
Mm.
Um, so that too,
Mm.
teaching again would be
Mm-hmm.
really, really nice. I've
Mm.
got some things to teach.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Very cool. Yeah. I love what you're saying. Mm. I think there will be a time and an opportunity and a space for a lot of people to start teaching again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been teaching in ways that are really joyful and fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Every day I wake up in the morning and think about what would be joyful to do today.
Mm.
And so today I'm doing 3 interviews and 1 client. And I'll probably paint and play my guitar and vacuum.
Hey, vacuuming is joy.
It is when it's all done. Oh my God. It does bring me joy.
It does bring you joy. I enjoy practicing cleaning.
Mm-hmm.
A kitchen, I enjoy cooking in it, and I enjoy cleaning it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I enjoy cleaning it more
Yeah.
because then
There's
it's
something
really
nice about it. Yeah.
clean.
It's very meditative with good music. Mm,
Mm-hmm.
I like with music personally. Well, are you ready to do the thing
Show
with
some
my
stuff.
spine?
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to
So,
have to take out these earplugs because I need
yeah,
to
both of,
stand.
both of us.
Okay. Bear with me, guys. We're changing position.
See if you could see.
Here's my living room. One of them, anyway. Okay, I need to have my cell phone too, right? In the chair?
Yeah.
Okay, everybody, you need a cell phone and a chair.
I've been to that room.
Yeah.
Right? Or have you moved?
Oh, I'm in the same room.
Yeah.
Just turned my angle.
No, I said I've been to that room unless you moved somewhere
Oh,
else.
yeah. Yes, you've been here. Yes. Here's the room again.
Okay. So, in my practice, obviously, I would touch your spine and actually see where it is, see where the vertebrae is.
Yeah.
But regardless where it is, the movements are the same. I don't do them, you do them anyways.
Okay.
And they can go both ways, and you have to just feel what it feels like without me being there.
I'm up for it.
You're up for it. Okay, so first, I would just start letting you sort of feel your spine and see what it feels like this morning. If you're finding any pains or tensions, movements that you want to go into more or less. You could do some flexion, some extension.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A little
So
low.
what did you find?
My typical pattern is to be locked up in like kind of a flat kyphotic or a flat T-spine. I don't have a lot of motion around
Mm-hmm.
3, T4, T5.
Mm-hmm.
That area tends to be a little rigid. Rotation wise, I'm not feeling too bad. A little bit more restricted to the right, just generally.
Okay.
Mostly around T10, T11. That area.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll start with the sacrum.
Okay.
And how to move the sacrum or sort of get it aligned again is you can feel both sides of it.
Uh-huh.
And for people who watch who don't know where the sacrum is, you can feel your hip bones and you could put your hands on them and you go back and back and back until you reach the middle.
Okay.
And that's where your spine is.
Yes.
Down, and then there's this wide bone.
Yes.
Yes, that's the wide bone. And you can press on both sides of that wide bone and see where it feels better, or where do you feel some tension or pain or discomfort when you press on it?
Okay.
Yeah. So
Right.
which side do you feel less good?
The right side is less good.
The right side is less good. Okay. So you could put your right fist on your right side. And what you do is you take your left leg, so the opposite leg, and you push it and you kick it back like that.
Like donkey kick.
Like a donkey kick, exactly. and then you do the same. You keep holding the same side, and you do then you do a donkey kick on the right side. That?
Yeah.
And then you let that go. And now moving in from the sacrum to the lumbar spine, which is this area.
Yeah.
You take your chair. Can you see this chair? You can sort of see this chair. Ah, great. Okay. So first you want to test which side feels good. And the way to test it is you put your right leg on it. And you see I'm not putting it fully on. It's sort of on the corner.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yes.
I put my left hand on the right knee, and that's to stabilize the hip. So this is just, I'm not letting this knee move.
Got it.
Okay? And I take my, I want you to see me more. I take my right hand, I'll do it this way. See, left hand, right knee. My right hand, and I keeping the shoulder nice and relaxed. I turn the elbow and the head to see what it feels like. If I'm feeling tension anywhere, okay? I do this basically once or twice to test.
Okay.
And then I switch legs.
I feel nothing, by the way.
Left knee, right hand, and then left hand. And do you feel nothing there as well?
That part's great.
That part's great, even better than the nothing.
Well, they're both pretty the same, but the
Okay.
lumbar spine feels good.
Okay, so anyway, we're gonna do it for the lumbar spine.
Great. Let's do it.
So, from what I sense with you is you put your left foot, your right hand, and with your left hand you do the same movement with the arm and the head, but
Yeah.
you do it quickly and with an exhale. So it's like this.
Okay.
That exactly. And then you let that go.
Okay.
Okay?
Cool.
Put your foot down. Now for the lower thoracic spine.
Yeah.
Again, you put your right knee, your right leg, right hand, and the left arm checks what it feels like.
Yeah.
And you can rotate even more back with your head as well to see if you're finding any tension.
Yeah.
Finding anything?
Yeah.
Finding tension. Switch arms, switch legs and arms, and then try to the right.
Why do I feel weird now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Less tension, more tension, same?
Less tension.
Less tension. Okay.
Like,
So for the thoracic spine, it's supposed to be for the lumbar spine. If all of these movements, it's the same. We do it to the side that feels better.
oh, cool.
Because the side that feels better, there's less resistance.
Yeah.
Both sides will bring the vertebrae back.
Okay, cool.
But the side that feels better, which is right.
Yeah.
So in left leg, left arm. Yeah.
Just once?
Twice is enough, definitely.
Okay.
And then you let that go.
Okay.
Now for the upper thoracic, which you say, right, T1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
So I'll show it this way. You can see, right?
Yes, I can see.
Okay. So with my hands, I can feel this pointy one, which is C7.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the last vertebrae on the neck, in the spine, whatever, in the neck. Okay? And I can feel with both hands where it sits. And then I go one lower, and I can feel that C7 is actually moving to the right, and T1 is more left.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I take my left hand, I grab C7 from the right, like this, and I hold it. So I'm pushing it sort of this way,
Mm-hmm.
back to the left. And then I take my head and I rotate to the left. Just once. I could do it again with my chin a little bit more in, keeping the chin low. And then I let that go. And I can feel again where it sits. And it's pretty much back in place.
Cool.
Yeah. And you can feel more up. Again, feeling if you can feel the edge of the vertebrae more on the right or on the left. And I still feel this on the right.
Mm.
A lot of times, C4 to 7 have a big play in what T1 to 3 feel like,
Mm-hmm.
more than what T1 to 3, like they have less effect.
Mm.
So C has an effect on T most of the time. So again, I hold both C6 and C5 from the right, and I turn it. And I let that go. Now, what you can do to test something
Mm-hmm.
is before, when you checked your thoracic spine, this area,
Yeah.
with your right foot and right hand,
Okay.
and you take your left hand and you just test how that feels.
Good.
Is that more loose?
Yes.
That's a good start.
Yes.
Surprise! And now for the sort of ultimate. In my practice, I would grab you from the back and lift,
Yeah.
so I can spread the spine.
Okay.
But what you could do at home is you take your cell phone, yes, and you can reach as high as you can with your hand,
Okay.
and it's, can you see the angle
I
of
can.
the phone? It's pointing sort of this way.
Yeah.
So I put it in between the vertebrae,
Uh-huh.
pushing up and forward. And then with my hip, I just rock my hips forward, back and forwards, just my hip, while keeping the pressure up and forward. And then I go down one vertebrae, I do it again, another vertebrae, again, all the way to the sacrum.
Cool.
And keep going. All the way, T4, sorry, L4, L5, and sort of the sacrum. It doesn't really matter at this point. It's just a place where you can put the phone in.
Got it.
And you keep rocking that pelvis.
Very cool.
Then you let that go, and you can Put the phone aside.
Mhm.
And again, feel your movements.
Mm.
Check T1 to T3. If you have more space, more movement there, less tension.
Yes, I do. Yeah, I do.
Ha!
Pretty great. It,
Fantastic.
it's a good thing this worked, right?
Good thing this worked. It still surprises me, just like it's not even like PDTR, because this works every time and PDTR doesn't.
That's true. It's on the receptivity of the system.
Yeah, because this is, you actually move things physically.
Right. That feels really good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
What do you call that? The
Originally,
self-spinal adjustment?
I would go into the spine with this.
Oh, yeah.
This
Okay.
is the
Is that
tool
wood?
it's wood, yes.
Yeah. It's very cool. Well, how can people, sorry, I'll wait till you get your headphones in.
Okay.
How can people reach you if they want to work with you virtually right now or just have questions?
Currently, I don't have a website. I'm working on building a Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, I would start advertising
Mm-hmm.
that's what I do. But I do work with friends
Mm-hmm.
that are asking,
Mm-hmm.
and people that I've worked with in the past. So
Oh,
I haven't advertised myself in the past year. I've
yeah.
only word to mouth, and since I'm on the road, I meet a lot of people.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So, but can people email you or reach out to you on
Yes.
Facebook?
Yes. Email, Facebook,
Okay.
phone number, all of that.
Okay.
I actually have clients in Boulder.
Do you? How cool.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. It's just a mecca for niche things.
Yes.
You know, people want niche things in Boulder. There's a lot of value in that. Very cool. Okay. Well, I will put up the email that you gave me when you signed up for this, if that's okay
Awesome.
with you.
Yes, that's
And
very much
just
okay.
tag you in. Noah is getting a coffee right now. That's quite loud. We're going to have a surprise visit.
I almost thought he was vacuuming, and I was like, no, there's no
No,
way.
it's the espresso machine. Yeah. So I will attach your email and tag you in Facebook so people can know how to reach out to you, because I'm sure there's going to be some people who want to know about some of the cool things you're doing.
Cool.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time. It was really, really fun.
Thank you. I had a lot of fun too.
Yeah. And I'll see you on Facebook.
Yes. Have an awesome day.
You too.